Nice. There's my block. Oh. So with the change, and I never know if it's daylight savings or whatever it is, whatever you call it, the clock change. Um, so I was up nice and early, earlier than normal, had a nice walk, and then and then started puttering and just picking around doing things. And then I completely forgot what time it was. So Laura, thanks to you, I got a little pop-up on my phone saying, oh, Laura has logged into the class. So I was like, oh crap, I guess I should set up. So here I am, nice and cozy this morning. It's chilly here, although the sun is out, so I'm grateful for that. And so we're just going to do a very kind of chill, gentle practice today, a combination of yin and somatic movement because they go really nicely together. So for the yin poses, what I want you to, pardon me, keep in mind, traditional yin stuff, we would hold for like 7 to 9 minutes. We're not doing that because there's no part of my personality that's going to hold a posture for that long. So, so we're not going to do it. But we will hold for a little bit longer. And the purpose of holding the postures is over time, your body starts to relax as your mind stops fighting. So that happens. And then you can go deeper and deeper and deeper into the postures or the stretches. For somatic movement, of course, we kind of trick the brain. We ask it to do these repetitive, very specific motions, which are not normal range of motion for us. So it causes our brain to have to be kind of on high alert, which it likes because when your brain does that, everything else goes away. We are not multitasking designed people. So today we're going to do these things that are really kind of challenging for the brain, which end up being good for the mind and the body and the soul. So just match it with a relaxed breath, nice and deep, and hopefully you'll feel great after today and carry it into the week ahead. So that's my way of killing time until more people have logged on. So we're ready to begin. And I'm just sitting here and I'm just going to take some kind of good morning breaths before I settle down onto my mat. So just closing your eyes, sitting up nice and tall and proud, chest is lifted, arms are relaxed, palms facing up. Maybe you're in a location where the sun is shining in on your face. Just start to think about maybe how you come to the mat this morning. Maybe you're a little frazzled. I know, I know I am today. Maybe you're just even more awake than normal because of the time change. Maybe you come with some stress or anxiety, maybe some aches and pains, maybe some excitement about something that's going to happen today. So whatever's going on, honor that feeling, honor that sensation, and build your practice around it. If the sensation is one that doesn't serve you, think about ways to just breathe it away, stretch it away. And then by the end of the practice, when we do a little bit of a check-in, notice if anything has shifted. You can open your eyes, maybe give a little shake. Just take a moment and do a little bit with the wrists. Just a little shake here. So we're going to do a little bit of nerve flossing before we come down onto the mat. Nerve flossing is neither somatic movement nor is it yin, but it's really helpful. And for folks who do a lot of driving or a lot of keyboard stuff or phone stuff, this can be really helpful. And this is a practice I've been doing because I was on a computer too long a couple of weeks ago, kind of really was very stiff. So this has helped and I thought I would share it. So we're going to start with, imagine you're like a waiter holding a tray. Maybe some of you have had that pleasure. I know I have. So you're holding your tray here, and then you're just going to extend the arm to the side and your palm is pushing away. So think about where you feel that stretch. It's pretty intense, right? At least it is for me. So bring the hand back. It's hard to do it looking at a monitor. So it doesn't matter how your hand is, whatever is comfortable, but the palm is facing up, and then extend away from the body. Coming back, away, coming back, and away. So we're going to add some head movement to this. So starting here, and then lean in. Back up, leaning in. One more, all the way up here, and extending. Good. Give a little shake. Let's move to the other side. Starting, holding your tray and pushing it. I find this is such a deep stretch, which shows me that I need to be doing it more. So coming back, stretching, coming back. I have no idea what I'm doing with my hand. And stretching. Maybe I gotta look here to see. Coming up, stretching. It's funny, if I'm not looking at what I'm doing, my hand is really going on a strange angle, which is just showing what's tight in my arm. So I'm going to add my head. I'm just going to lean over, coming back up, leaning over, back up. A little more of these. And one more, and I'm just going to push even further into this. So maybe that gave you kind of a sensation of pulling. Maybe it gave you some tingles. Just wiggle out your fingers. So the next one that we're going to do is just, if you have, it's hard for you to see, so I'll do it this way. So I'm up on a block, so I actually have space to do this. You could do it if you're standing, but I'll just show you what it looks like here. But basically, you're just going to take your hand and move it back behind. So you're just coming like this and like this. So I have just enough space if I'm doing it while sitting up on my block. Maybe I'll bring my feet in front. And if your arms are longer and this is not comfortable, you could stand and do it. So I'm just dropping my hands and then I'm going to tuck them back. Relax them. This really is easier to do standing. You just want to really feel that stretch, which I feel down the front. And let's do one more. Cool. Give a little shake. Now the fun one. Raccoon eyes. This is one I can remember doing as a kid. So we're going to make these little mudras. And then you flip up. So fingers are on your jawbone or your cheeks, and the eyes are wrapped around with the fingers. So we're coming up, trying to open the chest, and then coming down. Let's do that again. So a nice twist up. Take a few breaths. And release down. Let's try one side. So taking your mudra, hooking up here. Releasing. Let's try the other side. Take the mudra. Remember to breathe. And release. Give it a little shake. We're going to do one more with both hands. Mudra. Excellent. This is all great stuff if you are on a keyboard a lot. So just remember them. I find the best stretch for me is definitely this one. That's the one that I feel the most. So I tend to do it a little bit more often. Hopefully that helped you. And now that your brain is totally confused, mostly because of my crappy cueing, let's come down onto our backs and do a little bit of just kind of waking up the hip flexors. Wiggle into your mat. Shoulders are back, arms are just going to rest at the sides. And then I'm going to slowly start to bring my left leg up into the air. So deepen the breath as much as you can. I'm really feeling a nice pull all the way up the hamstring. And then I'm just going to kind of experiment with the positioning of the foot. So maybe moving the toes left, maybe a little bit of internal rotation, so going to the right. And then I'm going to slowly try and keep the leg straight and bring it closer to the body, noticing where I feel a pull, while keeping the breath deep and fluid. Notice what has to shift in order to keep pulling that leg closer. So for me, it's the core is engaging. So I'm pushing down into the mat. That's engaging pelvic floor. I also have to keep flexing the foot. And I'm using the breath to coordinate everything. And I'm going to soften and bring the foot down. Let's bring the other leg up. So starting with the leg as straight as possible. And again, just little changes in the position of the foot to experiment with getting a deeper stretch, kind of like the nerve flossing, really kind of tapping into maybe what you need. And very slowly starting to bring that leg back closer to the body. Really pushing yourself into the floor. And then softening, releasing the leg. Nice. As you breathe here, think about what you feel. for me, I start to move into that heaviness, that kind of gentle softness that happens when I've had a good stretch. So today we're going to linger more in this feeling. There's no need to rush to the next stretch. Just really feel what that is. Good. Let's bring both legs up. Similar principle. So straightening the legs as much as you can. And really push down into the floor through that core muscle area, in through the low back. My feet are flexed. Again, you can kind of move the feet out to the sides or internally rotate to see, maybe pointing the toes. And then I'm going to start moving closer to the body. Thinking on a yin principle here, you want to get to your edge. So I'm getting very close. I'm at that point where things are about to start shaking. I'm maybe not relaxed. The breath is becoming a little bit more shallow. So it's okay to ease back just a little ways. And then you can always reapproach. And then soften the legs down. We're going to move into a butterfly. Bring the hands forward, grab a hold of, oh my gosh, my hands are closed. Grab a hold of your feet or your ankles. And keep that breath nice and deep. As you hold this posture, think about pulling in the breath for a count of 3, pausing, and then exhaling. Maybe I'll count us through this. So let's start with our in breath. So inhale for 1, 2, 3, hold, exhale, 1, 2, 3, and hold. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, hold. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, hold. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, and hold. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, and hold. Keep going at your own pace. Maybe pulling those feet in a little bit closer. Release the feet, push the knees together, and then pull the knees back into the tummy. Bring your hands up just beneath the kneecaps. And I'm going to invite you to breathe in and pull the legs in tighter. So we inhale, pull in. Exhale, soften. Move your hands down a bit and do it again. Inhale, pull. Exhale, soften. Hands come down towards the ankles. Inhale, pull. Exhale, soften. Stay in this location. Inhale, pulling in again. Exhale, soften. Move the hands up part way. Inhale, pull in. Exhale, soften. Moving up right beneath the knees. Inhale, pull in. Exhale to soften. Once more in that location. Inhale, pull in. Exhale, soften. Release the hands down on either side. And we're going to bring our hands right out beside us. So the hands are coming out from the shoulders, almost like you would start a cactus pose, but you're just going to leave the arms outstretched. Palms are facing up. Good. Bring your feet to the mat. And they're going to be wider than hip width apart. So take a moment and gently lower the legs towards one side. I'm starting to the left. And turn your head to the right. Go only as far as you're comfortable with. Then slowly moving to the other side. Back to the first side. Remember, the head is moving away from the knees. Switching sides. And then come back to center. We're going to add some hands to this. So you're going to always be looking at the palm facing up. So when your head leans to, say, the left, your left hand is up. When your head moves to the other side, flip that hand so that the palm is down. So when you're looking at a hand, it's up, but as soon as the head moves to the other side, it flips. So your hands are kind of doing this. I'm going to give myself some more space here. So let's do that with the legs, with the head, with the hands. This is where our brains start to work. So let's start with our legs dropping to the right. Your head turns to the left. Your left palm is up. Flip your right palm over. Good. So now we're ready to begin. We're going to inhale, switch to the other side. Exhale, switching sides. Hands are flipping, head and knees are moving. Inhale, switch. Exhale, switch. Inhale, switch sides. Exhale, switching sides. Inhale, switch. Exhale, switch. Noted. Inhale, switch. Exhale. Let's do a couple more. Inhale, switch. Exhale, switch. Good. Coming back to center. Your arms can rest wherever they're comfortable. I'm going to bring mine over top of the head with my elbows bent. And I'm going to move my heels closer to my bum. Take a few deep breaths in this position. And then I'm going to take a slow, deep breath in. And as I exhale, I'm going to peel my hips off the mat, moving into a little bit of a modified bridge because I have my arms up over top of the head. If this is uncomfortable for you, you can move your arms. But we're going to hold this for a little bit of time. Keep the glutes engaged, keep your core engaged. Maybe it's comfortable to lift a little bit higher. And then very slowly start to lower down. And let the low back release. Bring your arms down this time to either side of the body, roll the shoulders back. And we're going to go again. This time as we lift up, we're going to tuck shoulders under. If you have any active kind of injury to the the shoulders, including rotator cuff issues, or if your shoulders are just not feeling great today, just do a regular bridge pose and you want to skip this part. Otherwise, take a slow, deep breath in. And as you exhale, start to peel the hips off the floor. We're going to breathe here for a little bit. Maybe it's comfortable to bring the hands together under the back, so clasping the hands. And if you're going to do that, you push them into the floor, allowing a little bit of traction or torque to get your hips up a little bit higher. Now, I'm going to roll my left shoulder under, then my right. My hands are still together. I'm pushing up even higher. This is a tough pose to keep holding. If you need to release, you can. Otherwise, 3 more deep breaths in and out. And to release, keep the arms where they are as your hips slowly lower to the floor. Release your hands, but just enjoy this stretch across the chest. and breathe deeply. Untuck one shoulder, then the other. Continue to breathe. Good. Take a really nice stretch. And then we're going to move on to our tummies. So you can do that however you like. I need a sip of water. So when you come down, get comfortable here. I've got one hand on top of the other, and I'm just going to rest my chin, I'm going to rest my cheek on the back of my hand. Taking some nice deep breaths here. Good. Okay. I'm going to do my very best to explain how to do this next move. And I doubt my abilities at times, but we'll see how we do. So I am going to rest my left cheek, face cheek, that is, on the back of my right hand. I'm going to bring my left arm down beside the body. The tops of my feet are pressing into the floor. My pelvis is pressing into the floor as well. And I'm very slowly going to take a deep breath in and exhale. This time as I breathe in, I'm going to just lift up gently. So the hand and the cheek are still together, just lifting straight up. And then exhaling down. I'm going to do that again. Inhale, lift. Exhale down. Inhale, lift, engage through your core. Exhale, down. Relax and breathe. We're going to repeat that. This time, however, if you have the ability to lift up higher and twist almost like you're looking over your shoulder, you can do that as well. Let's make sure we're in a good position to begin. So my left cheek is resting on the back of my right hand. Tops of my feet are pressing into the floor. Pelvis and core engaging, pressing into the floor. As I take a deep breath in, I'm lifting up with a little twist back and exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up and exhale down. Good. To release, bring your hands out to the sides, almost like you're getting ready for a cobra. You're still going to rest that left cheek on the mat this time. And I invite you to bend the right leg, so bend your right knee, and take a 90-degree angle here. If you need to, actually, I'm going to recommend you do use your hands under the cheek to give a little bit more lift. So come into this recovery position. Try to not bring the foot back to the leg. You're just keeping the 90-degree angle here. Couple more breaths. Good. Head comes back to center. Bring your hands towards the armpits, and bring that leg back over. Good. We're going to set up on the other side now, which means my right cheek is resting on the back of my left hand, and my right arm is resting at the side of my body. The tops of my feet are pressing into the floor. Pelvis presses into the floor. Core is engaged. And as I take a deep, slow breath in, my head lifts. We're not twisting this time, just lifting up. Exhale down. Let's go again. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Take some breaths. Good. We're going to do that again, this time with that look over the shoulder. So as you inhale, lifting up, hand and cheek are still connected. You're twisting a little bit here, and then exhale down. Inhale up, lift and twist. Exhale down. And then finally again, inhale, lift and twist. And slowly down. Good. I'm going to bring my hands up to rest the head. And now my left leg comes up. So we've got a 90-degree angle. As you're holding this posture, try and soften into it. So if you're kind of clenching through a hip, release, relax. Good. Bring your hands back to the armpit. Slide that leg back. Keeping the hands towards the armpits, let's just go through some baby cobra. So as you inhale, roll the shoulders back, lifting up. And then exhale slowly down, bring your head to one side. Inhale, lift, head to center. Exhale, lower to the other side. Inhale, lift, looking to center. Keep the core tight. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. Once more, inhale, lift. Let's hold here for a few breaths. Good. And then pushing up. And we're going to move into a child's pose. Maybe a wide leg child's pose, whatever feels good. Pull the hands back along the mat and rolling up to the hero. So just coming into seated position here. I want to go through another really nice deep stretch. And while this is neither a somatic movement piece nor really a traditional yin pose, I want you to use that idea of yin to maybe explore it. And if you want to add some motion like you would with somatic movement, you can do that. So we're going to come onto the hands and knees. My hands are underneath my shoulders. I'm going to bring a foot out to the side. And then I'm going to rotate the foot out on an angle. So my knee is lined up with my heel. And my toes are pointing out to the sides. So even in this position, you're getting a nice stretch in the inner thigh. But what I want to do is add a little bit of breath and a little bit of motion. So my hands are currently under the shoulders. I'm going to walk them forward just slightly. And as I take a breath in, I'm going to lean back. And exhale, I'm just kind of rocking forward. So find the rhythm that works for you. Just explore this stretch. And then we're going to do one more thing here. So I can't keep my hair out of my eyes. We're going to turn this into thread the needle. So I'm going to, the hand that's opposite the bent knee, that's upright. Don't know how else to explain that. Basically, I'm going to thread the needle under. And see if you are comfortable coming down. If you're not, that's okay. I'm kind of getting partway down here. And again, in the spirit of yin, I'm sinking a little bit further with every breath. This is not my typical thread the needle where my shoulder's on the floor. I'm just kind of holding in place, working on that deep breath. I'm going to go for 3 more breaths here. And then working my way out of this. Again, coming back to a hero pose. Shoulders roll back. Good. Let's do that on the other side. So I'm going to move forward onto the hands and knees, bring a foot out to the side, aligning the heel and the knee. And then starting with this preliminary kind of range of motion, maybe a circle would feel good too. Just really kind of explore what's happening and what you need this posture to be. And then when you're feeling comfortable, I'm going to thread the needle, dropping down. So I'm actually bringing a hand kind of towards that extended foot. How about 3 more deep breaths? And releasing. Back to hero. I can tell you there was nothing there was nothing deep about those last breaths for me. They were incredibly shallow, really kind of showing that I was hitting my edge. Just take a moment and roll your shoulders. The super intense posture, but kind of a neat one to do. We're going to get ready to kind of wrap up the practice now with just a little bit of what is very comfortable to us from that somatic movement perspective. This is also what we use to help to release the psoas and kind of release some tension in and around the hip flexors. So I hope that kind of what we're doing today, although maybe not the most exciting, is just encouraging you to get deeply into your physical self and just really kind of create that possibility to let some of this stress and tension go. It can be a long process to do it, but once we get there, so worth the journey. So I'm going to drop back onto my back on the mat. Stretch your legs out. Bring the arms over top of your head and just take a really big stretch. And then soften. Bring your feet back up close to the bum. Knees are hip width apart. Pardon me. And let's bring our hands to the iliac crest. So just rest your hands kind of in that area. This is our traditional kind of pelvic roll that we do. So as we breathe in, we rock forward, creating space under the low back. And then when you exhale, you're going to press into the floor and really kind of engaging, pushing down. This is great for pelvic floor. So join me and we'll go together. So inhale, create that space. Exhale, flattening down. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, rock forward. Exhale. Inhale, rock forward. Maybe you can create more space now. And then exhale down. Inhale forward. Exhale down. Good. With that same principle, inhale, rock the pelvis forward. You can release your arms now. And as you press down this time, left knee comes back into the tummy. Inhale, lower that foot, rock forward, staying with the left side, please. Exhale, bring the knee back, pressing into the floor. Inhale, pelvis rolls forward. Exhale, left knee comes back. Inhale, create that space. Exhale, knee comes back. Let's do a couple more. Inhale. Exhale, knee comes back. Inhale. Exhale, knee comes back. Keep the knee here, pulling it back further. Extend the leg that is not pulled into the tummy. So in my case, it's my right leg. Deep breaths here. Try and soften the shoulders. And you're going to let that leg just flop out to the left-hand side. You can just kind of move it around a little bit to get a release. And then using the other hand, guide that leg across the midline. One more deep stretch here. Good. And bring your foot down to the floor and let's start that again. So our feet are hip width apart, knees are hip width apart. And on your in-breath, rock that pelvis forward. Exhale, pressing into the floor. Inhale, rock forward. Exhale, press down. Inhale, create the space. Exhale, down. Inhale, rock forward. Exhale, press down. Inhale, rocking forward. We're going to add that knee to tummy. So exhale. Now we're on the right side, pulling back. Inhale, rock forward. Exhale, knee to tummy. Inhale, rocking forward. Exhale, knee to tummy. Inhale forward. Exhale, knee to tummy. Couple more here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale all the way back. Pull that knee in with your hands, straighten the other leg. Maybe let the knee flop out to the side a little bit. Very slowly crossing over the midline. And back to center. Make a figure four. Side of the heel is resting on the top of the knee, and then pop it up, pull it back in. Nice glute stretch here. You can add some motion if that's what you need, but keep the breath deep. And then switching to the other side. I just found a whole other area of tightness I did not know existed until just this moment. I got stuff to work out, apparently. And releasing. Good. Whatever position you prefer for your Shavasana, now is the time. Move into it. And as you're resting here, just do a quick scan. Notice what has shifted since we started the practice this morning. I also want you to take a moment to notice not just the physical feelings that you're having right now, but think about what is happening in your mind, what's happening in the heart. After a practice like today, it's not unusual to feel a little beaten up. We worked the brain pretty hard, and some of those stretches were really deep, and that can often leave you feeling a little overwhelmed or a little bit kind of topsy-turvy. And that's okay, because that will pass. Just welcome all the sensations and welcome the breath as your guide. Take a big stretch from fingers to toes, reaching the arms up into the air over top of your head. Wiggle the fingers, winkle or wiggle your toes. All the things you need to feel amazing. And then move into a seated position. And it's a wonderful kind of chilliness in the house and just feeling super cozy right now. Let your shoulders drop away from your ears and just be present for another moment. Just breathe deeply. Take your time as we kind of get ready to ease back into the regular world. Join me in sweeping the arms up over top of your head. Connect your hands, looking up, and then slowly bring the palms down to rest in front of the heart. And join me in an exchange here where I send gratitude to you. And I hope you will then turn that gratitude into something wonderful that you will express out to the world in the days to come. So thank you for hanging out on this hopefully sunny day where you are too. And I can't wait to see people in a week. Be gentle with yourselves. Lots of fluid after a class like this. Namaste.